In a small, quiet village, there lived two inseparable friends. One was 6-year-old Ram, and the other was 10-year-old Shyam. They were like brothers, sharing their meals, playing from dawn till dusk, and exploring every corner of the village. One sunny afternoon, their curiosity led them far away from the village outskirts, near an abandoned area. While they were playing a game of chase, Shyam, the older boy, lost his footing near the edge of an old, deep well. Before Ram could reach out, Shyam vanished into the darkness with a terrifying splash. Shyam didn't know how to swim, and the cold water began to pull him under. He screamed in panic, his voice echoing off the damp stone walls. Ram stood at the edge, trembling. He looked around frantically for help, but there was no one. No farmers in the fields, no villagers on the path. He was completely alone. Just as despair was about to set in, he spotted an old wooden bucket tied to a thick, weathered rope lying nearby. Without a second thought, the 6-year-old child grabbed the bucket and hurled it into the well. "Grab the rope, Shyam! Hold on tight!" he yelled. As soon as he felt the weight of his friend, Ram began to pull. Every muscle in his small body strained. The rope burned his palms, and his breath came in ragged gasps. To anyone watching, it would have seemed impossible. A 30-pound child trying to lift a 100-pound boy vertically out of a pit. But Ram didn't stop. He pulled with a strength that didn't come from his muscles, but from his soul. He pulled until his vision blurred, refusing to let go until Shyam's hands finally gripped the edge of the well and he scrambled onto the dry grass. The two boys sat on the ground, sobbing and hugging each other, a mix of terror and relief washing over them. When they finally returned to the village and recounted the harrowing event, the reaction wasn't what they expected. The villagers laughed. A 6-year-old pulling a 10-year-old out of a well? Impossible, they said. The boy can barely carry a full bucket of water, let alone a whole human being. They dismissed it as a childhood tall tale born of fear. However, there was one man who didn't laugh. Virendar Baba, the oldest and wisest man in the village. Because of his reputation for honesty, the villagers grew curious. They approached him and asked, "Baba, how can you believe this? It's physically impossible." Baba looked at them and smiled. "The boy is already telling you how he did it. He threw the rope and he pulled. The how is simple." He paused, his eyes turning serious. "The real question you should ask is why he was able to do it. And there is only one reason. At that moment, in that deserted place, there was no one around to tell him that he couldn't do it." He looked at the crowd and added, "Even his own inner voice didn't have the chance to tell him he was too small or too weak. When there is no one to tell you that you are incapable, your potential becomes limitless."